Good evening. Welcome to another live interview session in line with the Educational Summit. So prior to starting the discussion, I just brief on this summit. So it's the South Asian International Educational Summit 2022, which will be held from 18th to 20th June 2022 in Colombo, Sri Lanka. So this summit is focused on ECCD and general education. So I take this an opportunity to invite all 7 countries in the region to join in hand with us on this event. So today's discussion is about new strategies for global leadership in VUCA world. And our topic is what's the meaning of VUCA world? So everything is in line with the summit we planned in June. And we have Dr. Kalpana Dixit from India as the guest for today's interview. She's a research supervisor at Barkutullah University, Bhopal, and she was an ex-professor and principal at VNS Group. So welcome, madam. And we have Dr. Dheeraj Malhotra from Kunwar Global School, also the author of Teaching in the VUCA World, so which is literally an ideal fit for today's discussion, as the theme is VUCA World. Welcome, sir. And I would like to invite Dr. Dheeraj, our special guest, to speak a few words prior to giving the opportunity to Dr. Kalpana. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. I welcome Madam Dr. Dixit from India, and also the other delegates from other countries who are watching this episode. The credit goes to our president for this association, Mr. Janaka, who has been really doing wonderful job in bringing all of us together and deliberating on issues related to sustainable development goals, and also in addition to bringing quality as a priority for all of us around the world. So thank you once again, Mr. Janaka, and I welcome Madam Dixit from India, and also the wonderful core members from the South Asian International Institute. And above all, we look forward to having a gala time with learning as a priority during the educational summit slated in Colombo from 18th to 20th of June. Well, I believe that we all live in a VUCA world, and pandemic has taught us great lessons of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And that's what VUCA stand for. That reflects the distinct types of challenges we are facing. As educators, we never dreamt of teaching without a classroom. As educators, we never dreamt of teaching, without the children. And now we even thought of, having the children at the portals of the physical classroom, but the thinking ability is changed. Post-COVID, we have new challenges now. Children are not able to write because they never wrote any character for the past 2 long years. So now they are more towards volatile format of learning. They are more towards IT savvy, and above all are more interested in Amazon, Alexa, or probably Google Smart or Siri for their commanding artificial intelligent machines to grab knowledge. And that is all what is reflected as a priority in the VUCA world, which has become a trendy acronym for not only the management graduates, but also for the educators, wherein we tend to live in the world of uncertainty. We don't know tomorrow whether the school will be there or not, or whether it will be offline or online. So that's a challenge, but we all will sail through. We all will bring that attitude, that attribute, and above all, the conduct in dealing with our classroom challenges and becoming winners down that process. So looking forward to hearing from you, Dr. Kalpana Dixit, and also our friends all across the globe. Thank you so very much and stay blessed.
Okay, good evening.
Thank you, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Good evening, sir. And thank you, Honorable President, for this wonderful opportunity you have provided to me. And thank you, Dr. Dheeraj Malhotra, sir, for a very good previous input you have given to motivate and encourage me to start my talk. That's a very full of content, your introduction that. And thank you, my host, Hasini. You are really lovely and very good and comfortable and cooperative also. So I am really feel proud to be one of the member of this wonderful organization, and this is our first meeting, and I hope that in future also we will collaborate in a very good manner. And I am still learning from our senior leader, Dr. Dheeraj Malhotra. He is teaching almost everywhere, every time. So thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Now we are going to start this. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So with that, I guess we can start today's interview. So we describe the present global situation as VUCA world. This means there's volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity everywhere in the world. At present, this is the nature of the global society. So how do you see this situation?
Actually, you are right. This is a VUCA world, and we are in the transmission period of transformation in every industry, not only education industry, but each and every industries are facing transformation because of this VUCA world, this uncertainty, this complex, this ambiguity, and this brutality. This will impact all the system. So, being an education leader and being a teacher, what I think कि we must have to accept the challenge. We have to accept the challenge and plan our strategies according to that. And we have to survive in VUCA world by our different strategies we can do. Like we can make proper decision making strategies in our educational institute. We can make aware our teachers, and we can also introduce about the advantage and disadvantages of this VUCA world to our students also, so that they can also accept the situation as and when, so that we can move ahead in this VUCA world. And another thing is that this volatility is also visible in curriculum, in contact, in transmission of the knowledge and transmit of the knowledge. So this knowledge and content has been transmitted in the form of digital device. Traditionally, it was the face-to-face learning in the classroom. So this is especially visible all around the world that education system is very much impacted by this VUCA synchronous, and this uncertainty is still present here because the corona has not gone. Still, there are in some countries and some places the corona exists. So we have to apply hybrid mode of teaching and learning so that we can accommodate with this VUCA world. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you for giving such a great beginning for this discussion with that elaboration. So it's obvious that at present, students cannot just survive with the theoretical knowledge only. So they need multi-skills to win the competitive society. So as per your opinion, what kind of skills are required to challenge the competitive global society?
Yes, actually, you are right. This is a competitive global society, and we have to prepare our students for the 21st century, which is running now. And we have to prepare the global world market so that they can be accommodate themselves in different types of job and different types of skills. So for this, we have to introduce life skills there in the school curriculum, and we have to introduce some critical thinking, creative thinking, and some strategy of cooperative learning, and some strategy of learning, we can also introduce some type of classroom. It is one of the important strategies. So we can move the student from one platform to another. Either it is in face-to-face learning or it is a virtual learning. So this rotation can be go like we can utilize some video watching or some fine art activities or the area out of the classroom activity in the sport ground, so that they can learn creative thinking, critical thinking, cooperation, leadership, motivation, and they can achieve a good status in this world of work, and they will become a 21st century learner to fit and accommodate in the future 2030 and 2050 types of education.
Thank you, ma'am. So as you are aware by now, our summit plan in June is focused on 21st century skills. For example, communication skills, technological literacy, leadership, social responsibilities, etc. So it's the responsibility of policymakers in South Asian countries to give a significant weight on these factors. So how do you elaborate this?
Actually, the lack of modality and the lack of modernization because of lack of a strong policy for this 20 field. So this is very much required. First, we should decide what type of policy, what type of curriculum framework must be there, and how we can introduce this 21st century skills in the classroom and in the syllabus, either in virtual mode or hybrid mode or face-to-face learning. So, a strong policy and strong design of implementing and aggregating the 21st century skill is almost required by each and every South Asian country. Especially, I would like to highlight the National Policy of Education of India 2020. So, as a member of this policy committee for teacher education, we have given many solutions, but practically many solutions were not possible at that time. So when we have prepared the draft, we have to screen all the drafts, and there must be compatible draft for all type of learner. In India, I'm talking about the India itself, and I think in other South Asian countries, they are also following this strict draft of making policy for 21st century skill. So there are very much input was given by different educator and experts, but still there are some practices required, some teacher training, competency building of teacher is required, and there must be a precise framework of curriculum, content, textbook, revision of activity, revision of teaching method, and revision of pedagogy. Everything is dependent upon this strong policy for 21st century skills. So we are trying our best, and I hope that we will be successful in getting this framework for 21st century skill in the form of a strong policy.
Thank you, ma'am. As an educator, how do you live in the VUCA world?
Yeah, as an educator, first we have to change our mindset. We have to accept all the challenges, our surrounding, in our classroom, in our content, in our student. We cannot blame anything. We cannot blame our learners. We cannot blame our government. We cannot blame the content or curriculum assessment. We have to move like a leader. A teacher must be leader nowadays. He can motivate the students to learn all the activities and all the skills required for their future and their good future. So teachers should work as a leader. Teachers should motivate, and teachers should become a facilitator, not only the transmitter of the knowledge. Teachers should not the content in the classroom. Must provide content, different type of activity, and different type of teaching arrangement in the class, like sitting on a stool, sitting in a garden, sitting in front of the whiteboard, sitting in front of the blackboard, sitting in a group to do activities. So teacher as a facilitator has to train himself for executing this skill, and then they must be compatible with this VUCA world to transform their work and to execute them in the true form of teaching and learning.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. And I totally agree with you. So as you mentioned, like in the modern world, the teacher does not play the contemporary role he or she used to play. A teacher is a leader in the present educational stream. So how do you define this? And what type of leadership a teacher should have?
Actually, you are right. As I told you earlier, just a few minutes back, teacher must become a facilitator and a good leader. So the leadership you are asking, so I would like to emphasize on transformational leader. There are very much type of leader, some democratic, some autocratic, some authoritarian leader, and some bureaucratic leader also. But being a teacher, you must be a leader of transformation. You should be a transformation leadership quality. You should accept the change, you should update your knowledge, content, and you should build competence in yourself so that you can lead the whole school and individual learner for their better future.
Thank you, ma'am. So when we are talking about 21st century skills, we often discuss on life skills. So what are these life skills? Like, how can these skills support to survive in the VUCA world?
Yes, actually, life skills, all the skills included in 21st century, they are divided in two or three parts, and numeracy skill, literacy skill, and life skill. So all the critical thinking, creative thinking type of skill, which are very much useful for practical life also. So they can be developed and evolve in the students through different type of activities, through the support of activity learning and through the support of some action research also. So this type of life skill can be developed among the students for their better future as well as for their in our day-to-day activities of the classroom by giving some puzzle, by giving some jigsaw puzzle, by giving some activity project, by giving some type of quiz or question or some type of query that he or she can research on the internet, in the world of internet, and find out some positive output for that. So we have to motivate our learner to learn and research by the use of this life skill so that he can generate is learning himself and he can become an important part of this teaching learning process.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. So when we consider secondary and primary education, the priority is for theoretical knowledge. And in most of the countries, an exam-oriented teaching learning process is being practiced at school. So having such a background, how can we focus on developing 21st century skills among children? And what strategies can be used for this?
Actually, there are very much popular strategies to develop 21st century skill. One is the activity-based learning. As I have already told you, must group the student in a small group. The whole class can be grouped according to their ability, according to their interest, and according to their choice. So they can be grouped in different small groups. Then they can be given some creative projects so that they can give some positive output also. Beyond of this, we can also conduct some quiz, some competition, some essay writing competition, poetry writing, if they have literacy skill, and if they have scientific skill. So we can execute some scientific project in the classroom or in the laboratory. So we have to utilize the whole campus to develop and create this type of activity in the student so that they can utilize the perfect use of the school hours and can be generate a new type of learning and become a smart and strong learner.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. And I think we have another guest who has just joined the discussion. Mrs. Pooja Segal, one of the principals in an Indian school. Welcome you, madam. Welcome to this interview. And I believe Dr. Dheeraj can welcome her better than me because she must know her very well. Over to you, sir, Dr. Dheeraj.
Yes, it's really a great pleasure for me to welcome Ma'am Pooja from Kanpur, and she's one of the CBSC master trainers here in India. The CBSC, let me tell you, it's the biggest board, and it stands for the Central Board of Secondary Education. So, ma'am has consented to be there with us on Monday. So, I would just like her to say hello, and because she had a very, very long day today. So, she just came back from work, and I requested her to join us today for 5 minutes and listen to the deliberations. So, ma'am,
Yes.
this is an organization based in Sri Lanka where they are organizing an event in June, and they are also doing online events, particularly for sustainable development goals. And today they are discussing on the VUCA world, which talks about the uncertainty. So I would request you to say a few words and then we can carry on with the session with Dr. Kalpana Dixit. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Dheeraj, for introducing me into this group and for the warm welcome. And I must say namaste to everybody who's there in the group. I really feel privileged and honored to be a part of this. And I'm sure great learning is happening there. And it's a privilege to be amongst all of you. Forgive me for my bad throat today. And as Dr. Dheeraj said, yes, I had a very long day, number of meetings and, training sessions and all. So, but hope to see you soon, join you all soon, and have a good brainstorming sessions and a lot of learning. So thank you all very much. Looking forward to reconnect. Thank you.
Thank you, Pooja.
Namaskar to all. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes. We are really happy to have you here, and we would like to interact with you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Namaskar to all.
Thank you, ma'am. I guess we can continue with the interview again. So, ma'am, in order to change the knowledge-based school culture curriculum to 21st century skills, how can we introduce activity-based curriculum? What kind of new changes should be there in the curriculum?
Yes, we can introduce the activity-based curriculum by executing different type of activity in the classroom, either in the form of group or in the form of individual project. So we can give some research-based activity, we can give some design thinking projects, some problem-solving activities, and some creative learning or creative writing activities can be given in the classroom and out of the classroom. Beyond that, we can give some students to some internet project also, that they should find out the characteristic personality of a particular leader, or they should find out the combination of the climate change skills, and they should find out the how the disaster management can be done in time of the situation of the crisis. So different type of creative and different type of problem solving and design thinking projects can be given to execute the activity based learning in the classroom. And also we can initiate some debate or discussion in the classroom also for a particular topic, so that student can be attentive and involved in this type of activity itself. So this is the way to introduce this type of activity based learning in the classroom.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So, teaching learning process plays a vital role in enhancing quality of children. And in the past, most of the schools used lecture type or as a one-way teaching method to pass the knowledge. However, we need to look into new teaching methods like allowing the child to explore concepts and allowing them to blend with the new technology. And like if we want to develop 21st century skills, like we need to like adopt into this concept. So how should we change our contemporary teaching methods, and how should we adopt the pedagogical approaches to develop 21st century skills?
Yes, this is a very important question nowadays. because we are always talking about different types of skill and different types of book covered also, and we how to execute this. This is really we have to adopt some gamification. Gamification is a very good teaching method for introducing 21st century skills. So we have planned some game on internet or multimedia so that the students can involve in and develop their creative and critical thinking. Then project-based learning, cooperative learning. Under cooperative learning, we can give a particular puzzles to a group of 6 to 7 students, and they can find out the answer of that puzzles, and they can assemble finally give a final answer for this. And there's also design thinking. We have uh, we have to ask the student to design a product which is very much useful for their teaching and learning. Either they should design a pen, a pencil, a book, or content also, or they should design a logo of the school. So design thinking inculcate the motivation of learning, and also design thinking encourage the learner to think as an advanced order of mindset. So we can give some design thinking project based learning, competence-based learning, and we can prepare them for the 21st century skill as well as for the job market also. So with our school curriculum, we can introduce some vocational subjects also, so that they can learn a skill according to their interest of job. If they want to be a doctor, if they want to be an engineer, if they want to be a chemist, so we must have to give some vocational skill also by middle or high school classes itself. And then other thing is that for in curriculum and context is that we can divide the content in some part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all the content or all the parts of the content can be given to a separate group of students, and they can analyze the content, and they can discuss the content in their group. After analysis and discussion of the content, that particular sentence. So when we find out the summary of the whole content, and we will find that the students have been utilized very much creative ideas for a particular content, how they like to learn and how they transmit it in the classroom. So we must follow that idea also. So this is the way we can change our pedagogy also, and we must prepare our students for this 21st century world. So we can say that you are required a clean water, you are required a clean planet, you are required a hygienic food, and you can require safety from diseases like COVID and Corona itself. So we can also make them aware about this type of climate issue and pandemic issue, so that they must be accept the challenge in the future also. This is the way we can change our pedagogy.
Thank you, ma'am, for that very informative answer. So, like teacher's role was a transmission model in the past, and her duty was to transmit knowledge. But at present, it has upgraded to a role of a facilitator. So, well, how do you see the role of the teacher in the modern classroom, and how can the teacher contribute to develop 21st century skills among children?
Yes, actually, as you all know that nowadays internet is the prime mode of learning. The students are very much aware and advanced in their learning. If you give some project, they immediately do Google and find out the solution of that. So students, since the students are advanced, so teacher must be advanced. Teacher must have to build their competency. So teacher will work as a guide. Teacher will work as a facilitator. Teacher will work as a coach. He or she should not only transmit the knowledge like in traditional classes it was happen. The teacher come in the class and transmit the content for 45 minutes of period. Now the students are already learned the things, and they are aware of the content, so they can ask the question. So teacher must be capable to give the answer. And it is okay if teacher is not aware of the answer, they can say, "Ki we can find out. We can find out collectively. Let's see the site and we can find out the answer of this project." So they must accept the challenge, and they should work as a coach, guide, facilitator, and leader of the learning, not the transmission of the learner. This is the way teacher role has been transformed in present day.
Thank you, ma'am. And like as we discussed at the beginning of this discussion, like the pandemic has changed a lot of things in our lives. Accordingly, our physical classrooms were changed into virtual classrooms, and now we are using Teams, Zoom, and many other platforms for teaching. So in this context, teachers have many challenges. So how can these virtual platforms, internet facilities, and other technological advancements be used productively to develop 21st century skills?
Yes, what I would like to suggest if the schools are open in offline or face-to-face classes, still then we should not forget the support of technology and media in the classroom. We have to adopt this technology in the hybrid mode of learning. We can use both our traditional mode of teaching and the virtual mode of teaching in the classroom. So for that, what we can do, we can apply suitable type of technology classroom which is suitable to the content for a particular age and grade level. And beyond this, we can also use to enhance learning process and informative projects. We can use the 3D project also and visualization tools in the classroom also. And we can record the software, we can record the lecture, and we can give the recorded lecture also in virtual mode when we are in the offline mode also. And gamification is also important technological tool to make the students aware, energetic, and happy in the classroom. So for making the student happy, we should also adopt the gamification. And for this, we can use different type of presentation with different type of puzzle, different type of quizzes, and different type of question answer method through gamification. And we can also give the reward, award, badges, and medals to the student in the classroom so that they can encourage and motivate to learn further and further. When they solve the task, we can give them the award. And what we can also do, automation. Automation of learning is very important because the school culture is being changed now. So, how can we support the learner? The learner mindset, since 2 years is not very much active. They don't want to come to school. Actually, they love the school. They love their friends. They love the classroom and the decoration of the classroom. So, because only for giving the knowledge, we can't invite them in the school. So, we have to make our learning environment very much effective, virtual, colorful, and motivating by using different type of infographic, different type of chart, different type of model, different type of picture, different types of tools, techniques, and object of learning, so that they can encourage to come to school and make their learning effective and positive.
Yeah, thank you very much, madam. And it was obvious like how we can make it more interactive with all the suggestions you've made, even though the platform is virtual. Changing school culture from knowledge-based education to skill-based education is, of course, a challenge to every country, because it's not only the responsibility of the school administration and the teachers. The mindset of all stakeholders should be changed. Students should be motivated. So how can we do this significant change? Like, what kind of advice would you like to give to the society for that?
Yes, actually, what is society? If in a school scenario or in education scenario, we can see society is the combination of student, parents, teacher, administration, and management itself. So this is the small society. If we go out of the school, there are a big society. So if we want to give a message to the school society, then we must say that adopt the challenge, accept the challenge, and make yourself efficient in 21st century skills so that you can survive, because survival of the fittest is the law of nature. And so you have to develop and equip themselves. And if we would like to give a message to out of the school society, then we must give a cultivating environment to your child, give a positive mindset, Be happy with your child's learning. Be a supportive and facilitator. We can say the parents, you should be support and facilitator of your child's learning. You can inquire the level of learning of your child, and you can connect of positive relationship with the school, so that you can find out the deficiency and advancement of your child. So this is the message. We adopt the challenge, accept the challenge, collaborate, connect, and build your competence in each area of life.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. I think with that, we can wind up the session. Like, it was such a timely topic that we've discussed, because as people in a very dynamic world, and especially with the pandemics and everyday changing, social and economical factors, like this concept VUCA world plays a vital role. It doesn't only apply for the field of education, it's applicable for almost all the sectors, and that's why it's called the VUCA world concept. So thank you very much for sharing your experience, knowledge and expertise on this topic. We actually learned a lot from your points, from the facts you've shared. Thank you very much, ma'am. And thank you for committing your time. You must have a lot of other agendas as well, but you just accepted the request, and thank you very much for that as well. And I would like to thank Dr. Dhiraj as well, because he was always there with us in almost all the discussions so far. So thank you, sir, for your continuous support. And we had Mrs. Pooja from another Indian school. So thank you, ma'am, for joining with us. And I would like to thank Mr. Janka Kamalgoda, our president of the association. If it wasn't for him, we would never get to such a chance to get together and talk, even from this virtual platform. Thank you, sir. Thank you for organizing all these things. And once again, thank you, ma'am. And last but not least, I would like to remind about the summit again. It's the South Asian International Educational Summit 2022. I invite all 7 countries to join with us in this wonderful event, and I'm waiting to see you too, ma'am, in the event if possible. So thank you for everything. Have a nice day. Thank you and good night.